What's going on, people? This is your boy Rolly ASL here, back at it again, and we're doing something new. I ain't been here for like 6 months, so forgive me for that. But since free agency has started, I realized that I need to come back to the YouTube, so you know, chill out on that. So we're gonna be talking about every day for like 30 days. Hopefully, we can talk about everything that happened in the free agency business and what's happened in general. So I'm personally going to talk about everything that's happened in July the 1st, and I'm gonna grade everything. I'm gonna grade all the free agency signings that have happened. So we're gonna start off. We're looking at the website right now, SB Nation. I look at this website a lot, so we just gonna start off. I know we see like this Raptors signed Fred VanVleet, but I'm gonna talk about this Paul George thing real quick because I'm an OKC fan. As I grade this like a B for me, because there's half of me that's saying that we could have done better if Andre Roberson was still alive, or like if he was still playing for us, and there's half of me saying that we're about to be the same next year, so I'm gonna give it like a B. As far as in, I understand Paul George wants to get that bag, and OKC has given him that opportunity to get that bag, as I think they have bird rights on him, something like that. So and like I'm kind of having like mixed emotions about this, but I'm looking at it as a positive way. So if it's unfinished business in OKC, then I guess it's unfinished business. So we're giving the Paul George signing a B. The next thing we're talking about is Chris Paul. Chris Paul, $40 million, for 4 years, $160 million in all. That's not a good trade. I mean, that's not a good sign for me, because I'll give that like a C. The reason I give that for a C, the reason I'm giving it a C in general is because I still like Chris Paul right now. But at the same time, he's getting old. He has injury history, and also you're gonna give the dude $40 million at the age of like 38, 37. Around that point of time, NBA players are not usually that great at 37, 38. Never met not one NBA player. Kobe was not good at like age 37, 38, but you know, no NBA player is gonna be worth that much money at the age of 38. Or prove me wrong, but I give that a C, because that was bad on Houston Rockets' part, and kind of bad on not bad on Chris Paul's part, but that's kind of bad on Houston Rockets' part, because say he doesn't play well in one season, that's gonna be a lot of money. That's $40 million you giving to like this old dude that's not contributing that much. So that's gonna be kind of messed up, and in a way, they're gonna look back at this and be like, that's a bad sign. So yeah, I give it a C for the Chris Paul trade. I mean, for the Chris Paul sign. I don't know why I keep saying trade. Another thing, DeAndre Jordan signs $24 million 1 year. I give that an A. The Dallas Mavericks have been going after DeAndre Jordan for about the longest I can remember, about like 2013, 15, yeah. It was 15 when his contract expired and Clippers wanted to re-up it, and that Blake Griffin, CP3, they locked him in his house, all that crap happened. Yeah, so $24 million Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, that's I give that an A. There's no problems with that because it's 1 year and he's getting the bank. So 24, yeah, so he can see what if this team is really meant for him. I give that an A because there's nothing really that bad with that signing or deal. So A for DeAndre Jordan. I'm now just seeing some of these signings like Aaron Baines. I didn't see that last night, but Rudy Gay will stay on the Spurs 1 year. I saw that last night. So he's staying on the Spurs 1 year, $10 million. B plus, because they do need a wing. Rudy Gay he's decent in the NBA right now, for me at least. That's what I say. He's decent, and yeah, shoot, I'll give it a B plus. There's nothing really wrong with that. $10 million 1 year just to try it out again, see if you could make some differences, since now you know you're not really going to have Kawhi in the locker room, or Kawhi is not really going to be a big part of the organization. If he doesn't get traded somewhere and he stays, he's not going to be like a big part in the organization anymore. So Rudy Gay, that's a pretty unique contract. $10 million 1 year, simple, that's cool. Next is Will Barton, signed for 4 years, $50 million. Will Barton's getting that bag. Denver has a good player in return. You have a slasher, also as a 3-point shooter. That's a great deal. So if you divide $50 million between 4 years, that's like about $12 million a year. 12, 14, 20, 12, 24, 36, 48. It's around 12.5 mil. Yeah, so that's a good signing for his capabilities. So I'm going to end off on Will Barton as a B+2. That wasn't a bad deal either. Trevor Ariza, $15 million 1 year. I'm giving that a B-. On Trevor Ariza's part, I thought I don't know what's going on in Trevor Ariza's mind right now. I could be totally wrong, but I was kind of thinking that he wanted to end his career off as a champion, not necessarily as a mentor. After a 0 for 12 game or 0 for 10 game where he shot 0 for 3, where he shot 0 from deep. I thought he was gonna try to come back even stronger next year with like a championship contending team. Didn't think it was gonna be the Rockets, but I thought it was gonna be like a championship contending team. So he comes back with the Suns, and I'm kind of like $15 million 1 year deal. So I don't really got no problems with that. I feel like the Suns on their behalf, I kind of give them like a C- on the signing, because you just drafted Zaire Smith, traded him for Mikal Bridges, which is, in my eyes, as I've watched his as I watched him play in the NCAA tournament, he's a 3-and-D player, if I'm correct. He's more of a 3-and-D, and like Trevor Ariza is the exact same, a 3-and-3 player, a 3-and-D player. So I kind of don't understand how that's gonna work out, since you're kind of small forward and guard heavy at this point. As not guard heavy, but you know what I mean, like that position of 3-and-D, whatever. I give this whole signing a B-. Not a bad signing. What else was it? KD re-ups his contract, $61 million for 2 years. Shoot, I don't really got nothing to say on that because it's KD. We all knew it was going back to Oakland anyway. So yeah, I ain't really got nothing to say. A+, I guess, on KD's behalf and on Golden State, because I think that's a max right there. If I'm not correct, I think that's a max. And also they got back KD, so I ain't really got no problems with that. A+. Okay, so we're gonna go back to this Raptors sign Fred VanVleet. I didn't see that. 2 years, $18 million. $18 million. That's $9 million a year. Yeah. That's good. That's good for Fred VanVleet's services. $9 million. I give this a A- because I don't personally know where Kyle Lowry might end up, because I still have like a little thought in my brain like where Kyle Lowry might end up, because the whole team might get traded. That's facts. And the Raptors signed him to this 2 year, $18 million contract. I feel like it's good on Fred VanVleet's part, but I feel as if Kyle Lowry gets traded, what is he gonna get traded for, and how will Fred VanVleet be inserted into the starting lineup? And I'm trying to realize, like, is he better off the bench or anything like that? I haven't seen him start this year. Personally, I haven't seen him start. I might have missed some games from the Raptors, but I haven't seen him start, and I don't really know what his potential is as a starter. But as a bench player, yeah, that's great. $9 million. But I don't know if Kyle Lowry gets traded, or I don't know if Kyle Lowry gets traded. If he does, and if he doesn't get traded for a point guard, how will Fred interpret in the starting line? That's just a thought that's going on in my brain. It's probably not going on in nobody else's, but you know. There's a couple more I'm about to talk about. This Jeremy Grant thing. So yeah, as I said, I'm an OKC fan. So the way I feel about this is, that's like what, that's $9 million a year for Jeremy Grant. I would have given him like 5 or 6. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have given him like 5 or 6. When I saw that last night, I was kind of like, I was kind of iffy on it, because, and I give this signing like a a C plus because I don't feel like he's worth $9 million yet. Maybe in the future, but not right now. He's definitely a potentially great. He's a potentially solid player to come off a bench or be a starter, but I don't know. I just feel like we should have got him for like 18 million 3 years, something like that. Because I don't feel like he's worth 27 million yet, but who knows? I'm not an NBA player. 7.5 points, 4.3 rebounds, I think. Like an assist last year. I like his athleticism on our team. I like how he can play aside all these. I like how he can play this aside Russ and not ask for the ball as much or whatnot. But at the same time, I feel like he should have got like 6. I really do feel like he should have got 6 or 7 in this situation. So I'm gonna give this I'm gonna change to B minus. I'm not that mad, but I'm a little iffy about it. Joe Harris, Nets. Don't really care about it that much, but for the Nets, $8 million 2 years. For Joe Harris, I ain't gonna lie. I actually did watch like a couple of Nets games, and when I did, he was kind of lighting it up on like as far as the 3-point line. I don't really know him about defensively, but that 3-point line, he kind of lighting it up, and I don't really know about slashing either, but he got a good shot. $8 million. Hey, I don't really care about that necessarily, but hey, for Joe Harris, because $8 million to shoot the ball, that's great. Yeah. So what else? I remember some trades off the top of my head. I don't even gotta look at SB Nation like that unless it shows me. Yeah, it's not showing me nothing really. So, hold up. Yeah. So let's just go down here. We'll go really quick and then we'll end the video. Pacers agreed 3 years, $22 million for Doug McDermott. Terrible. Why? Doug McDermott is not even like a solid starter, bro. I don't care. Like, you shouldn't have not signed him to 3 years, $22 million. Because if I divide that, like, hold on, let me just get the calculator. I'm on a computer. I don't feel like he was worth 3. So that's $7.3 million. He's worth like $4 million to me because he's solid, but at the same time, he's not worth it. And the Pacers, y'all kind of like taking off little by little pieces of your cap space to get certain players like Eric Gordon. But Doug McDermott, nah, that wasn't the way to go. That wasn't the way to go. I would have gotten some other players, man. Like, nah, Doug McDermott's not the way to go. Oh yeah, Ed Davis signs for 1 year, $4.4 million. Great signing by Brooklyn. Also by Doug McDermott. Thing. I said I think a C minus probably. I say C minus. Ed Davis, I'm giving that a B plus because I love Ed Davis. I don't model my game off of him, but I like his rebounding. I don't know how you can relate somebody's rebounding, but I like his tenacity. He's moving on to the Nets. $4.4 million. Great signing for the Nets. Not that much money. It's only a 1 year rental. It's Ed Davis. So shoot. Yeah, B plus. Derrick Rose returns to Minnesota for a $2.2 million deal. If Derrick Rose can stay healthy, redeem himself in Minnesota, then next year he'll have a bag, like maybe 15 million, 10 million, around that area. If he can redeem himself in Minnesota, because I feel like Minnesota is a great place for him, and I would like to see Derrick Rose succeed. I saw that little Reddit story, and I kind of felt sad, but everything's positive about it. So maybe Derrick Rose can return back to that great player he once was, or not that, but better, or like not better. A type of that. Omri Caspi, 1 year deal to the Grizzlies. I don't know. I'm not even gonna grade that, bro, because I don't really care about Omri Caspi. I hear that he can shoot 3. I've watched him shoot the 3, but there's not really much to say that, so I'm just gonna give it like A, I guess. Marco Belinelli signs for 2 years, $12 million. He returned back to his old team. I can understand that. That's a great signing for them. They like those type of players, the 3-point shooters, the international players. So I'm talking about Spurs organization. They like those type of players. So, Marco Belinelli is a great player to sign. $6 million. He been getting that most of his career, so it's a pretty good sign. A minus. Gerald Wallace goes back to Houston on $2.4 million deal. That was great for Houston necessarily because they did just lose Trevor Ariza. But on the upside, you still get to keep Gerald Wallace for a cheap price as he's not asking for much money. And he's just getting a veteran's minimum. So what I'm saying is that's an A+, by the way, because it's Gerald Wallace. That's a great signing for Houston and for Gerald because Gerald, I think he's gonna earn his money like over $40 million maybe in his whole NBA career. That's a good amount of money to sit back on. Plus you're getting a little bit old, so you know you're gonna slow down a little bit. And yeah. And the last two signings we're gonna talk about is this Nick Stauskas and Ersan Ilyasova because that's the one I remembered. Oh, and Glenn Robinson. Ersan Ilyasova, that's a C+ for me. I know that Giannis do need some players to shoot around him, and Ersan Ilyasova is the type of player to do that, but I don't really know how he's going to return next year because, everybody gets older. Everybody gets that little feeling in their arm where they can't shoot no more. So I'm going to give that like a B for Ersan. Plus it's $70 million for Ersan Ilyasova, $21 million in all. So I'm going to give that a B. It's decent on each side. It was great for Ersan, but it's decent on the Bucks' behalf, even though they do need shooters. But I just think it's a B. Nick Stauskas, one of those things I don't really care about any like that, but sure. I don't really see minus because I don't really understand why Portland needs him. They say he's a good 3-point shooter. I looked at his stats and I looked at him a little bit. I used to watch him in Philly. And maybe like a little bit in college, but in Philly, he could shoot that 3-ball well. But I don't really think that that's not the thing y'all need right now. Y'all need to be working about like the center position. Be working about big men. I would rather have Roy Hibbert over let me calm down. But I'd rather have like a big man over Nick Stauskas. He's not the right sign for right now. You need to be thinking bigger people. As that's in my mind though. Last thing we're going to talk about is Glenn Robinson III signed a $4.4 million contract, I think. Yeah, to the Detroit Pistons. Great wing player. Detroit does need a wings, and I give that I'll give it a B because I don't really know how his 3-point shot is. I haven't really seen him play that much this year. But I'm going to give it a B because I don't really know how the 3-point shot is, and Detroit does struggle with spacing the floor out. So, that's my whole thing on day one of the free agency class. Thank you guys for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe. I'm giving y'all that corny YouTube outro stuff, but it is what it is. Have a great day or evening, whatever time you watch this.